Hey everybody, welcome to another model building workshop. And today we're going to be looking at this guy, the Hawker Fury. I'm Mr. Allen and I'm coming to you on behalf of the Community Libraries of Providence. And I'm speaking to you from my basement workshop here in Providence. And as you can see, I got a lot of stuff going on here. So it's a tad cluttered because I've been kind of busy. All right, so we have this Hawker Fury, which to me sounds like it needs, a better presentation. Like, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Hawker Fury. It sounds like it needs like a really bold introduction. The Hawker Fury. Anyhow, what a name that is, right? And this is by Amodel out of Poland. And we have the Yugoslavian Air Force edition here, 1939. Well, to 41. So this, trying to see if I've got a date on this box. It doesn't look like there's a date, but I don't think this kit's been around very long. It's from Warsaw, Poland. Got this through, the old squadron logo on there. So it's been a few years anyway. And let's look at some of the history on this plane. So, the Fury fighter was originally built in 1931 by Hawker Aircraft Company, which later went on to make the Hurricane, among other famous aircraft. Biplane fighter plane. Mixed construction of a metal frame and linen wings. Let's see. The Fury 1 was the main version with a 12-cylinder water-cooled Rolls-Royce engine in it that had 585 horsepower. And in total, 117 of those fighters were built. And it says here the Fury 2 model differed by having a more powerful engine of 640 horsepower and a bigger fuel tank. And in 1935 to 38, 98 machines of that type were built. Says here in 1940 in East Africa, this aircraft participated in fights against the Italian fighters. The RAF would have been using these against the Italians in that theater. Also says during 32 to 37, the Yugoslavian Air Force received 6 aircraft which were identical to the Fury 1. And later another 10 planes were built with a Kestrel 16 engine, which had a 745 horsepower engine, so more powerful. And it mentions here, in 1937, another 40 fighters were then licensed built in Yugoslavia. And in April of 1941, those aircraft took part in the fight against the Germans and the Italians during that invasion there. Mentions here the German fighters. All right, also in 1936, 3 of these aircraft were built for the Spanish Air Force, and those aircraft were equipped with a Hispano-Suiza engine of 745 horsepower, and they were used during the Spanish Civil War on the side of the Spanish Republican Army. So, these planes kind of got around and were used by a number of different air forces. So again, this is the Yugoslav version that we're looking at here from Amodel. And the box art, I don't know how believable this picture is. Actually, there are some questions I have with this for a number of reasons. One is shooting down a 109, which I don't know if this could handle a 109. I suppose we could look this up and see if this battle actually happened. While this was a very nimble and effective fighter plane, it dated from 1931 originally, so it's a different generation than the 109, which is leaps ahead in technology. Also, there's something we can notice on this aircraft. So it's got the Yugoslav emblems on the wings, but this has an Italian cross on the back. So this is indicating that this was a aircraft that was captured and then pressed into Italian service. So this picture is not making a whole lot of sense on several levels. If you have any thoughts, add a comment, but I don't know about the accuracy of any of that. So, Let's take a look at the instructions here. And again, that story is here. It's on the box side, but it's also seen again on the instruction sheet. This is kind of typical of an instruction sheet from like an Eastern European model company. Amodel would be another, yes, it's limited edition. So this is one of those short run companies that kind of make some oddball subjects like this. Although I don't know how oddball the Hawker Fury is, since Airfix is making one in 1/48 scale. But anyway, so these are short run kits, injection molded, which is nice. So it's plastic. But usually these are in limited number. You know, the releases are in limited numbers. And the detail, well, we'll have a look at that in just a second. Yeah, it says here, model is executed on technology and is short run and intended only for experienced modelers. And I am working on one, as you can see here. And I would say that is rather true, because it does take a bit of work to get these to look nice. Although, in some cases, it's the fun of modeling, right? Okay, so here we have the instruction sheet with the parts layout up here. And we have some painting and building instructions there. There's not a whole lot to this kit, so I'm kind of using it as what I would refer to as a palette cleanser, which means it's something fun to kind of play around with between other types of kits you're working on. Just need a breather with something unusual, and this seemed like it was going to fit the bill. So you can see there's a few different steps here. Not a whole lot to it. There is an option here for underwing machine guns. I did see on an article that was on Wikipedia that does mention that the Yugoslav fighters, some of them did have these added to them. So that's not inaccurate. The assembly is a little bit, it's all diagram, as you can see. It's not anything else really going on there. There's some paint information here, which we'll look at that paint chart again, which is on the front here. So the paint chart and the paint callouts here. So they mention Humbrol colors. But they also name the color, so that tends to help. If you're not really familiar with all the Humbrol line and their numbers for their paints, it does say, you know, light blue, dark green, dark earth, black, rubber, aluminum, light gray, and leather. So that's a pretty straightforward list of colors, and for the most part would indicate RAF colors, which would make sense that these were made in Britain, probably painted in RAF colors, and then sent on to the Yugoslav Air Force. That would be my guess. And you have two versions here, rather colorful. So what you have, as I mentioned, the top one here, although the date is inaccurate, it says Hawker Fury of the Yugoslav Air Force in 1939, captured by Italian forces. Most likely that would be 1941, when Yugoslavia was invaded by the Axis. So that's probably when this happened. So it says, note that the rudder had been repainted in the Italian Air Force dark olive green color, and the white cross was there, put on the tail. Although it does say here, to be fair, it does say that all other Yugoslav markings were retained. So that's interesting that they would be. And then the bottom one just says the Yugoslav Air Force. And you have a few different options for numbers you could put on, which I'll show you that in just a moment. So yeah, these tend to be in that dark green, dark earth RAF, Royal Air Force color. So what else we have in the box here? So this is one that I'm building and painting as I'm going. I find biplanes can be tricky like that because you get the two wings. It can be hard to mask and paint all of that. So I'm doing it bit by bit and building and painting. Here's your decal sheet. So you can see this one's got the Italian cross there and the numbers in white. It's kind of added as it did. Not sure why that's there like that. Oops. Yeah. Should have taken that out. But you also have the cross here with the dark olive. Looks like black to me, but no, I guess it's really dark green. Is it? I don't know. My eyes see that as black. And then you have those beautiful Yugoslav Air Force emblems there. So hopefully these work well on the plastic, because they certainly look great there. Did use the instrument panel for inside. I believe that's what that situation was. Just going to double check because I've been kind of working on this intermittently with some other projects. Yeah. Instrument panel decal. Yay. Kind of forgot for a moment. So here's the top wing here with the light blue and the camo there. So I was going to try to get this further along before I did the video, but anyway, we kind of need content. I was starting to run out of stuff, so kind of rush this along. So, you know, it's going to go like that, naturally, for a biplane. We have the different struts there to put on. We have the wheels, the gun pods up top, which I'm not going to use on mine, though they are an interesting option. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this, except for the wheels. Oh, which I was working on. Yeah, right, working on here, trying to get those. Yeah, they're painted, but they're a little small, so I'm trying to be careful not to lose that. So yeah, I'm in the middle of this. Hopefully the struts will go on without too much pain and misery, and then we'll put the top wing on. I do find this to be the make or break moment of a biplane. I don't build a whole lot of biplanes. I do find them challenging, but we'll see how it goes. I have built a number of them actually, but not as many as standard single wing aircraft. Yeah, and we'll see how this works out. So it's an interesting sized plane. Get some more painting and touches to do naturally to this. Like I said, I hope the decals will work well, because that's really the selling point of this kit. And we'll see how that works. So the detail, this is where those limited run kits, you'll see there are some places I still need to fill in with putty. So there is a number of things you have to sand and scrape, add putty, reshape a little bit, so that there's that kind of work going on here. And that's pretty much what that little warning of sorts was on there. That's for experienced modelers, because you do have a lot of cleanup and things you have to make look right. I mean, there's a bit of a mold seam on the bottom here, which I tried to clean up a bit. I could have done a better job, to be honest, but that's what I got out of it. There's some things you're going to have to use a knife to clean up, like trying to get some of these vent holes there underneath the propeller there, getting that set up. So yeah, there's some sanding, cutting, scraping to get these pieces to fit correctly. Although right now it's not looking too bad, but we'll see, like I said, how the rest of that goes. Because the moment of truth is coming where you have to try to mount this wing. Let's hope so. Because it does look like a beautiful model, and those decals are really cool. So, yeah. Anyway, that is our look at Amodel's 1/72nd scale Hawker Fury. And we'll see you next time on the next model building workshop. Keep on building out there. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.